What's up guys, it's Gage. So today we're gonna do a little shop update, and we're also gonna go over one of my toys that I sold and why I sold it. So let's jump right into that and talk about that toy that I sold, and then go over some of the shop updates. So as you can see here, you might notice if you've seen other videos what's missing, but I did sell my white XR50. I kept the 88cc big bore kit and bike that I built, and that's the main reason why I sold that white bike, is because I've ridden this bike more and I love it a lot more. So aside from that being sold, we do have that bike that we're building, the Felt Bicycle series, and then the Cheap Cart series we're going to wrap up. That red bike's my brother's from our ride video out to my parents' house and back. He just didn't feel like loading it up after we got done, so it's sitting here until he comes and picks it up. So yeah, I sold that because I didn't ride it as much. I'm enjoying this bike way more. Of course, I did put more money into this bike. That's not really the reason why I like it more. I do like it because of that, yes, and that I built it from frame up and basically redone the whole bike. But it's because the power output that the 88cc puts out, I was actually impressed with it. It's way more than you would expect just from a 30cc upgrade. So that bike, it sat and I never rode it after that. My wife was wanting to ride it, but we think it's going to be a little while before she's ready to ride. So we can totally get her another bike. Who knows, she might start out on this Felt Bicycle. It'll be the same concept almost as one of these. So we'll see how that goes. But that money from that project will go back into the channel. I did get offered a good amount to where I couldn't say no. So I ended up, selling it. So we'll definitely put that money back in the channel. Look at some other projects. I have my eyes on a couple of things, but I like to look at all of my options before I make a decision. So we'll still have that bike, the rocker mini bike, that will eventually be a project one day, the Felt bike, and the go-kart, and of course the 48 that is not going anywhere ever. So now that that's out of the way and that we talked about why I sold that, I'm pretty sure most of you guys understand, the reason why I sold that. You've probably all been there. It's just one of those things. So aside from that, we'll talk about the shop upgrade. So as you can see, the drywall, I've got some of it done. I mainly did this side to start because I was putting up my cabinet, I was putting my toolbox over here, and this is the side that all of my tools and all of my equipment stay. It's because if you look at, it's a 20 by 30, and if you look, we have a lot of room on this side of the door compared to over there. It's just a little bit. So that's the reason why I did the drywall starting over here. I did it all myself. I don't claim to be a professional, but I love giving anything I can a go and seeing how it is, just expanding my knowledge of things that I can do around here and working on other stuff. When it comes to the drywall around the garage doors, I might call it professional because I don't feel like taking the garage doors loose. We'll leave that to the professionals. I did strip the old insulation off when I was doing this, and I put up new insulation behind all of that. So it will be a little cooler in here and a little more insulated until we get a window unit put in, or a mini split. I think a mini split would be perfect along that back wall there. So as far as the drywall goes, my buddy Jace Andrade from the Andrade Racing channel said he has some drywall left over from their house that they renovated. So I think he's gonna be kind enough to donate it to the Rundown Shop cause and get some new drywall put in. Might be able to get enough just to get to that point there, and then just buy about 4 sheets to finish off that side there. Trim that window out the same way that I had trimmed out my window over here. I trimmed it out with just some, I believe that is pine or poplar, and I stained it an espresso, I think is what they called it, just to match the theme I was going with, like around the fuse box and all that. Next after that would be a new door and a new screen door. We're gonna get rid of that old door, trim the frame out, you know, make it look good. Even though it's a garage, I still want it to feel a little bit like home, a little cozy, something that's fun to just come in, sit down, be a second man cave, because I do have a man cave in the house. I might go over that one day with you. It's got some classic bikes in there. It's got my dad's first ever mini bike in there, and a little Hot Rod Trail 70 that my dad was getting rid of, and let me store that in there. It does run and ride. It's just so nice. Did not want it to get messed up, so we ended up obviously getting some XRs. And after that, I believe we are going to do some new shop lights. After looking at it and being out here filming, pondering the ideas of the hexagonal lights, I don't think it's going to work. With all of the garage door hardware hanging up, as you can see here, I don't think there's enough room between these rafters to hang those hexagonal lights. So we're just gonna run some new LEDs, but they're not gonna be these wide LEDs like the shop light style, fluorescent style lights you see. They're just gonna be a single tube, and we're gonna run them along every one of these beams. I believe they're in 4-foot sections, just like these, so I should be able to fit 3 on each beam. So we're gonna get all those put up, and that should eliminate my dark spots here, dark spot there, all through up here, and the same with this side. You'll see some dark spots. That's probably no big deal to most of you guys, but I do like to have a very bright shop lighting. I think it'll help with video quality, and you know, when you drop that 10mm, you can find out where she went, because we all know 10mm like to grow legs and just disappear. So we'll get that done, and then I'm going to work on getting a Cornwell upright compressor and get a compressor shed put out back. When I had the electrician do my electrical, he went ahead and ran one of those tubes to make it easy to put a 220 volt in, and I had him bury the electrical, so he'll just have to run it through there as well. So yeah, that'll be most of the shop upgrades, and then we'll probably work on doing a floor, getting the mower out to the garage or out to the shed, and then doing one of those plastic hard tile style floors. You know, where people do the checkerboard and they like that diamond plate look or different textures. Just doing like a checkered flag style floor with a nice border around it. And probably going to start with, you know, this half of the shop, because this is where I mainly film and work on projects. I'll go ahead and get this half of the shop done and get all of this, you know, moved over to here, get it set up, move it back, start working my way out, and get this side done over here. So we'll get all that done, and I think 48 might move over here as well, and then line my projects up against that wall. I think that'd be a better idea, so they're out of the way. So yeah, that's an update on the shop. Another hopefully soon pretty cool project I think that I'm going to start on is my XC70 build, the Butler, as you may have seen in some of the videos. That has a 2.5 liter turbo, and I plan on making 400 to 500 all-wheel horsepower. So we're going to go to Swedish Imports in Edmond, Oklahoma, and we're going to go see if I can't get a 2.3 liter engine from their salvage yard. So for all you Volvo lovers, if you see anything out there that might interest you, I will link their contact info down in the description in that video, so y'all can get a hold of them and see if they're able to get some parts for you and whatever you guys need. So we're going to do that, have the motor to the side. It won't be an instant build process. It's going to be an overtime when I get money, because that's going to be pricey. It's going to be a 2.3 block, 2.5 head, K24 turbo. It's going to be a Frankenstein build. But from what I've read and what I've heard, they can handle 700 horsepower to the crank, so that'll be plenty. I don't think I'll ever be exceeding that. So stay tuned for that. And like always, you know, like the video, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned for the next videos. I think we got some pretty cool projects getting wrapped up, and then there's going to be some videos of us driving the 48, going to some events, getting out of the garage, you know, just changing it up a little bit. So, all right, guys, as always, subscribe, like, comment. Peace.